We'll talk about.
It's quite put. Hello, everybody. I'm Ian. This is Jason. We're Sinners Review podcast. This is number 13, 12, something like that. Anyway, it's fine. The number will be written down below. If it's number 13, do we go 12A or 14? Or do we do 13? Are we unlucky?
I don't know. Have we done more episodes than listeners?
No, actually, the listenership's pretty good. More so on as a podcast without actually being able to see. So when we're actually talking about things that people can't see, we should maybe explain them a little bit better. Because
good voice for radio, good face for radio.
Yeah, the viewing figures on YouTube are less than 50, but you know, so it's much better. It is much better. Yeah, it was 100 on Podbean.
So you need to be more descriptive then.
I think we do, yeah.
What was that famous snooker thing for those in black and white? The pink is behind the blue.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
We'll do
exactly.
a bit more of that.
All right. We have got some any other business though, because you floored me by getting me to choose my Ian's supergroup.
Supergroup, yes.
And I said we'd have to come back to it because we had Jaco Pastorius on bass, Ella Fitzgerald on vocals, Duke Ellington on piano. I think I also I didn't have a guitarist. I didn't have a guitarist.
No.
I have now. And I think I had Phil Collins on drums, but I did say that Phil Collins wouldn't last. Phil Collins didn't last. Right? Okay. So here is the definitive.
He's still alive, or you've just kicked him out of the band.
I've just kicked him out of the band. I'm sorry. I know he's not very well, but
I thought you was announcing his passing. Dolly Parton.
No,
Wasn't there a scare about Dolly Parton last week? And she had to
apparently
come out and
yes.
said, I'm still
apparently
alive.
she said I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So here we are, the definitive list. So Jaco Pastorius is still there.
Okay, he's made it.
Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald is still singing. Although I have to say, if she needs she needs to substitute Ella, the artist from Halifax.
Yeah.
Ella. Well, actually, I thought it was Allure, but then I went to see her on Monday night. It's Ella.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice.
So Ella, she's a good support.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. So Duke Ellington is still on piano, but then I was thinking about it because Duke Ellington, great piano player, but has never played a synthesizer in his life. So we need a synth player as well. We'll get back to that.
I'm sure he'd be all right.
No, I don't think he would. So Keith Moon on drums. Oh, you see, I think Mooney was a better drummer than people give him credit for, because everybody assumed he was all over the kit. Now, I have some recordings of them playing live and playing Tommy live from Leeds. It's live at Leeds. It's the box set. And he could do that every night. So it's not like he was doing something different every night. He would play the same thing every night.
Oh.
So I think he was, I thought he was an amazing drummer, actually. You know,
it's not often I get to say this, but it's before my time.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Well, I grew up with the Who. The Who was the Who and the Kinks were the first bands that I got into as growing up in the 70s.
Yeah, whereas I grew up with the Jam and the Clash.
I certainly grew up with them as well. So yeah. I remember listening to the first.
I guess I was one musical generation behind you, probably, right?
I do remember being lent the Clash's first album and thinking it was really, really good and not very punk, actually. And I thought these guys are better than the current punk scene that we were in. And I did always love the Jam. Anyway, so that was a sidebar. So on guitar, we have, of course, Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
Couldn't be anybody better, could it? And then on electronics and synth, I thought I'm going to put myself in there because it's my band.
It's fair. That's fair enough.
So whether I would stand up to the rest of the talent in the room, who cares?
You should do some kind of AI picture of that supergroup.
Yeah, well,
Get
we
AI
did.
to
Yeah, we
put you
should.
there.
Shouldn't we? I mean, if I could be bothered, but I won't be.
If I could remember,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Don't
and
bother
actually,
feeding the beast.
there's quite a jazz element going on in there, and getting Keith Moon and actually, I think Jimi Hendrix could do jazz really well because in his early days, he was a really good sideman to some bands. But getting Keith Moon to play jazz, and I think he could do it. I don't have any other business unless you have.
Uh,
I don't think there was anything else that we were. We've had an
so,
email. Actually, it's just today. I have had an email. Somebody in Germany who's talking about putting together a something like Bandcamp. Has asked me if I'll have a conversation with him. So I haven't replied yet, but I'll reply
okay.
and
So
say
is that
and
based on last
just
week's podcast and
yes,
we were
he
talking
saw he
about?
saw it through a. He says he saw it through a Reddit link. So
Okay.
somebody had posted it in Reddit, and this guy's picked it up. So yeah, I will. I'll feed back in a couple of weeks. I'll arrange for next week to actually have
Yeah,
a
it's worth
conversation with
following
him.
up. No
You know,
harm. Yeah.
um, so that was quite nice. So
It could
we
be
did,
guinea pigs.
yeah. Uh, so how's your fortnight been? I was going to say how's your week been, but how's your fortnight been? I know you've done a gig,
Can't remember that far back.
done two gigs, haven't you?
Done two gigs, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
two Saturdays on the bounce, which was good. That was a nice vibe,
yeah.
both Saturdays. So it was good. The first one was at the at Strum, which is it's in Box. It's the Queen's Head in Box, which is in Wiltshire. It's about a 45-minute drive from where we are. It's not far
Is
from
it? I
Bath
thought
for people
I didn't
further
realize it's
afield.
that far.
Yeah, half
Right?
hour for you, so I guess
Yeah,
yeah. So just south of Bath. It's by Corsham in Wiltshire,
I know Caution.
a
I
bigger
do know
reference,
Caution because I nearly
a
bought a house
larger
there.
reference, right? So that was pretty good. We were playing with Sweet Machine, who are a band who are based around Frome. Actually, the
I've-
keyboard player in Sweet Machine runs Raves from the Graves. I
Does
didn't
he?
realise
I
until
didn't know
we
that.
got chatting to them. So yeah, he runs the record shop in Frome, Raves to the Grave. He was the keyboard player. So it's three guys, bass, vocals, keyboards. They do unashamedly original music, but unashamedly, 80s soft cell, OMD kind of vibe, right? Very much of that era.
I've heard of them,
Um,
but not heard them.
yeah, I
I've
mean, they're
seen
right,
I've
nice
seen them
guys.
been gigging around, but I've not actually seen them. Oh, well, I'm saying I haven't seen them. There was something at last year's Froome Festival, not this year, that I went to, and they may have been on the bill for that. But I'll be honest with you, I can't remember that
They did
much.
play there. You're right. They
Oh, they
did play there.
did, right? So I have seen them. Yeah.
Yep. So we both had an hour. They went up first. We went on last.
All
We had
right.
an hour. Good venues. They've got an outdoor stage, but we're kind of come out of the summer now, so
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
didn't work to be outdoors. But it's a proper nice big stage. Um, so we're on the indoors. I think they call it the long room. So there's a room out at the back. Perfectly good stage. We both of us all had our equipment set up, and it was fine. So it was a good sized stage. Big 73-inch TV behind us, so we made some visuals to go.
Oh,
We
good.
did some digital work behind when we played, which worked really well. It's a great venue. They're supporting grassroots music, supporting local artists. They've got somebody on every Saturday night. It's always well publicised.
Oh, good.
It's pretty good. They pay the artists. The artists get the money on the door. They charge £10 on the door, which goes to the artists, and then they
That's good.
take the wet sales
Yeah, yeah.
for the pub. So that was good.
So how did you find out about it?
I just saw it advertised. They put a call out. It was right at the beginning of 2025. They put a
Right,
call out. I sent them a video and they locked us in for September. So it was probably February, March time I
right.
answered their call. So, 6-month waiting
Yeah,
list to get
yeah.
on there. But well set up. The good thing about it is they have lots of videos, so they're filming overhead, they're filming left to right, front, back. So the good thing is when we get it is, we've got 45-minute footage of ourselves. We
That's
have
good.
visuals behind us. We've got the gig. So that'll really help us, with our own promotion and do that for
There
everybody.
used to be a venue in Leeds that did that, and they'd film it for you. Yeah, and literally at the end of the night, they gave the
Exactly
band a
that.
DVD with it all on. You
Exactly
know.
that. Yeah, no, they gave us this. We took a drive with us, so they said bring a drive. We took a drive, but unfortunately, we had the drive. We had the concert of the other band, so we're waiting to
Uh,
get our copy. But that'd be good. There's a good, 45 minutes of footage there that we can use, and
Great
Yeah, I'll
stuff.
show you the visuals. Dave did some visuals and then I put it all together into long format, but it's really good. It's just the logo, it's just
Yeah, yeah,
stuff that moves around, but it's stop people looking at two blokes playing keyboards, right?
yeah.
So that was good. I mean, the crowd was, to be honest, it was friends and family of both bands. That was all. There was
Was
only
it?
a couple of guys there. There was probably I don't know, five people that were in off the street, if you like, that were,
That's
come to
quite
see what
sad.
was
That
going
is
on.
really.
But then we had family and friends. It was probably 20, 25
Yeah,
people at its peak, but that's okay. Again, we got video, we got to rehearse, we got to play a nice long set. It's all refining, isn't it? So it's
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
So that was the first Saturday, and then Saturday just
Gone.
gone, which was
Bournemouth.
what, the 4th of October was it the 4th? Was a special Bournemouth EMOM.
I was going to
It
come
was
with you,
at
but we'll get on to why I didn't come. But go on.
Yeah. So it was a very successful evening. So it was in the Palace Theatre in Bournemouth, which is part of the Arts University Bournemouth. So it's a big. We were in the big theatre room upstairs. So it holds
Yeah, I
250
saw your
people, I'd say.
footage. I saw your little
Yeah,
clip
yeah,
on Instagram, wasn't it?
yeah.
Looked really good, actually.
So it's a really good venue. Held 250 people. There was 10 acts. So it was the
Yeah.
usual EMOM performance. Two tables. Um, 15-minute sets. You do a pretty quick changeover. So when a table empties, the next act sets up. You get 15 minutes set up. So everybody gets 15-minute sets. As ever with EMOM, a great variety of vibes and
Mm.
styles, from experimental to there's a guy called Dub Kaiser who had two little tiny units. He had a teenage engineering pocket operator. You've seen those, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Little
yeah,
calculators, kind of this big.
yeah.
Then he had a little mini, really mini Korg. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a Volca or a. It was even smaller than that. It was like a pocket
It'll
operator
be a
size.
mono. There's a mono. They're literally
One
about
of
that
those.
sort of size, like a
Yeah,
slightly
smaller than
bigger
a
than the credit
phone.
card. And
Yeah, exactly.
they did a couple of different synths because we used to sell them. I can't remember what they're called now, but yeah, yeah,
So he had two tiny little devices, and he played the sound he was getting out of it. He played a monster kind of up tempo dub vibe set. It was amazing. So it was typical EMOM. You had
yeah, yeah.
everything. So there was really great visuals there. There's one of the artists, Tim Cowie. He's in a design art kind of group of people that do all the visual arts, and they brought a massive screen. It was the size of yeah, I mean, it filled the wall behind the stage, right?
Mm.
And he was projecting images. It was syncing with the music, so it would pulse in time with the BPM of the music naturally. I think it must pick up from microphones. So that was a big screen behind everybody. It was live streamed by that guy who live streamed.
Oh,
Remember we went to the Leeds one?
Lee.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
he was
heard Lee had
there.
come down. Yeah,
Yeah. So it was live streamed, but then I couldn't see the live stream, and I haven't seen it up
I
on
haven't
YouTube
seen
or
it, and I
anything yet.
follow Lee. I don't. I think he hasn't been able to put it up yet.
Yeah,
So
I
there
think
must have
so.
been
Yeah.
something wrong with the feed. But I mean, when it gets up, I'll put a link down below so people can find it, and I'll let you know. Because
Yeah.
yeah, he's a
I
good
mean,
guy, is Lee.
the theatre's a very, very old building, so I'm guessing there probably wasn't great
Mm.
signal for transmission.
Mm.
But he filmed it all, so he brought multi cameras. He has a camera over top, so you can see what people are
Mm.
doing with the gear. That was good. Your good friend Martin Christie was there.
Good old Marty.
He kind of co-compared the evening, along with David Sims, who's the
Yeah,
guy, one of the two guys that
yeah,
runs Bournemouth. He was the opening act, actually.
yeah. I saw
Um,
these picture was on it. Yeah,
yeah. So what was pretty good, you played 15 minutes, then Martin and David came up and they chatted to each act, talk us through your gear, talk us through your creative process. So there was, a 5-minute chat in the
oh, it's lovely.
handover for that, which was
Yeah.
that really, really good. I would say by far the best one I've been to. It was very, very good, a very good event.
Is that going to be?
Um,
Do you think that's going to be their permanent venue?
I don't think so. Just
Oh, it's a
logistically
shame.
difficult.
Right.
Everything had to be pat tested.
Of course. Yeah. Venue. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they brought a pop-up bar in. I think logistically different, but I think having got a taste for it, I think if that, there's probably scope for that to be an annual event there, I think, because they
Mm.
tied it in. There was a music festival in the day, a make noise thing, and
Yeah. I
Martin was
know
at
that there
that as
were.
well.
Yeah, because that was about making synths and things, little
Yeah, making
little
your own little
DIY
gear.
synths and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know
Hmm.
I know that was paid. You had to buy into that because you were going to be coming away with something. I think Martin says something about he made a synthesizer in the afternoon.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
So he did a good set as usual. He did some of his usual kind of, he
yeah,
calls
yeah,
it beat poetry, right?
yeah.
Did his, so
Yeah,
it
it's
was
good.
good.
He's good. It's good. He's Martin. That's
So
brilliant.
a very good event. Once it's all up on YouTube, yeah, we'll share it and get it out there.
Yeah,
But it was really, really good. If they were to do that annually, I think it'd be really good. I think it might be something that catches on with the EMOM community where they maybe do like a big, like the Leeds one. It's
yeah,
more a festival, right?
yes, exactly. Yeah,
So
and there was
very
something
well
in the
run.
Midlands actually, like some sort of a day festival thing a while
Right.
back. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I mean, these
starting
things
to
pop
come
up
now.
every so often. I mean, in fact, because this will go out on Monday and it will have already been, but on Saturday, so Saturday in 2 days, we're
This
recording
week,
this
the
on
11th, the
Thursday
11th
night.
of
So
October,
on
that'll be.
Saturday, there in not Wakefield, in Saltaire, there is an EMOM festival. It's
Right.
outside, providing the weather holds. It's on a
Okay.
bandstand, and they did
Great.
it last year. You
Right.
know,
Nice.
we did get an invite, but I thought it was it's a bit far, a bit far to go for just one weekend when we are going back up to York in 3 weeks' time. You know,
We should put a link to there is an EMON website that lists
yeah,
all of
there
them all
is.
around the
Yeah,
world. We should probably
yeah,
put a link
yes,
out for
yeah. I'll
that.
do that.
And let's have a look when we're up in York if there's anything in the
Yeah, because last
region.
year it coincided with that I played the York one. Now we
Yep.
could play if it's on again. I'll talk to Simon, who runs the York one, as to whether there's something. In fact, I was invited to go and play at the Hull one last month, but
Mm.
obviously I couldn't get to it. You know,
Yeah,
but
it's a
so
bit of a
Phil
trek.
invited me. So if you see this, thanks Phil, and keep me on your list because you never know when I'm going to be in Yorkshire.
Yep.
Really, you know,
Yep.
you've got to get back to God's own country. So anything else? Anything else
No, so
happened?
just that EMON was fantastic. We were on last, which was really nice.
Oh yeah, so
It was running a bit
headliners.
late. Yeah, we came on and we finished. We brought everybody home. I suppose we were on about
Yeah.
10:30 in the end. It ran a little bit late, but it was good. It's good. We crammed 5 songs in, so no, it was good. Really well done. Shout out to David and Mark that run that. They
Yeah,
did a massive job. It was a 3-day event for them setting
I'm
up,
sure.
getting everything working. It was
Yeah.
incredible. And they had a last minute snag. They actually had to change room in the theatre. They were meant to be in the club room, which was a downstairs room, but there'd been some electrical problems in the club room, so they actually had to move to the main theatre. And they only found that out on the day, so that
Oh
was pretty
wow.
stressful.
God.
But actually, what a fantastic setting it was for it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was
Brilliant.
perfect. So no, good stuff. That was it,
So
really. Just all getting ready for that.
yeah. So I've been busy.
Hmm.
So that first Friday after we recorded last one. So I was watching the Pro Synth Network show on Friday evening, and they announced a synthesizer. Okay. I need to unplug it probably because it's connected. Hang on.
You've been procuring new
So
items again.
I have, I'm afraid. So I bought this. So this
Okay.
is the
Mask X.
Codemo Mask One EX, right? So this is a bit masking synthesizer. You'll see that
It's meant
it's
to look retro, right?
it's meant to look retro, but it's also not complete in
Right.
one sense. It's just a circuit board with a
Mm.
right. Now they launched their other synthesizer, which is just called the Mask One. I think a year ago. It's £1,700 is the Mask One.
Okay.
This is a cut down version of it. Okay, it's not got as much memory or as presets and all that sort of stuff,
Mm.
but the price was amazing, 299 plus shipping. So I paid. Well, I've just seen the bill, so I thought I paid £316 for it. I didn't. I've paid the statements come through today, and it's 285. So I suspect there may be some import duty to come because it's come from France.
Okay.
There's 300 presets in it already. You've got 600 in total. It's not MPE or any of that sort of business, so you have to plug it to a keyboard. The first 50, which is the ones I've just looked at, are absolutely amazing. It sounds absolutely incredible. So
I mean,
I
you can see
wouldn't
the
go and
bare board. You can see
Sorry?
the bare PCB
Yeah,
board
you can.
inside
Yeah.
there,
I
right?
wouldn't go and gig with it
Right.
because I think it's a little fragile, if I'm honest. So it's got
Yeah.
to live
Is it
here.
meant to look like it's
Yeah.
peeling? What's the right?
It's meant
Okay.
to sort of,
Look
now,
aged.
yeah, they're already sold out. I don't know how many was, it was a special, just a special offer that they launched on, I think, a couple of days before the Friday, PSN, and loads of us bought it on that show, and they actually did sell out. Now, they may do, hopefully, they'll do another batch. It might not be gold because this is, you can't probably see it on camera, but there's all gold and all that sort of thing. It might do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like just a silver one. It doesn't sound like anything else I've got.
Very
So,
nice.
and the usual rules apply: one in, one out. So I've got to get rid of something. So there is
So
a thing.
a bit of advice on that unit if you hold it up again. So there's a very small space in the Venn diagram of my life,
Yeah,
which is between work and music. I would definitely protect. I'd get yourself some side. You can usually buy side cheeks for your synths. I'd get you
yeah.
something,
And
sell
it needs
something
a
to protect
box,
that
doesn't it?
PCBs
Yeah,
because you're going to get contamination in that PCB and it's going
I
to stop.
agree.
So I make PCBs for a living now,
Of course you
and you're
do.
going to get. And
Yeah.
we should
So I mean,
absolutely venture into that space.
I've got a cover that will go over it in the
Yeah,
short
I'd
term.
keep it covered up and stop stuff getting inside.
So,
You want to
but
get some
yeah,
cheeks,
it
really.
feels a little fragile. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, it's metal. It's not plastic.
Right.
But the fact that you can see everything, and I know why they've done that.
Yeah, that's
It's
good,
about
and that's part of
price,
the appeal that it is
you know.
ruggedized. It's
Yeah.
part of what you want, isn't it?
A very simple screen,
And for
I
300 quid, right? It's
absolutely
not too
I
bad.
couldn't go wrong. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong, really. So that was Friday. Come to Saturday, I went to Machina Brastronica. You were meant to go and couldn't go.
Yeah.
So,
I saw
and
your
that was a
video on
bit,
that. I saw you put out a video.
yeah,
You kind of
yeah. So I put the video out. I wasn't going to do a video, but then I thought, well, actually, because I'd been a bit down on it last year, I should, I should, I should tell them what it's like this year. I had a great time. It's absolutely fantastic. Although there is a negative, but we'll come back to that. So I went to, now I didn't go to any talks last year, but I went to two talks on the Saturday this year. One about Dolby Atmos and surround sound, which was fantastic. And I made a connection with one of the panelists, a lady called Katya, who is, she works in immersive audio at York University. So she's invited
world.
me. She's invited me and you, if we get a chance to do this while we're in York, we're invited to the studios, the Atmos studios that they've got in York now. They've got several of them. So she's already invited us there. But really nice lady, nice panel, really interesting. I knew. I mean, I've done quite a bit in surround sound, but at least 10 years ago, really. And it was ambisonics, which is the academic stuff, really, rather than I've never done anything in Atmos. But that was a good talk. There was another talk about, on field recordings, which had Kayla Painter on the panel. We did an EMOM with her at Wells.
She was at Wells, that's right.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't really learn very much from that, but it was still a good panel. It was still a good, interesting. I mean, what Kayla said, because Kayla talked about how she'd done her latest she'd done a block of EPs with owl sounds, which was quite interesting, and the fact that she doesn't spend a fortune on gear to do field recordings. They're just very simple Zoom recorders, which we've got, So that was pretty good. Met up with a lot of mates. I got man flu from the weekend, so somebody passed on there.
There's a lot of it about mine.
Yeah, I should have worn a mask.
Couple of weeks,
I should have worn a mask, but I didn't wear a mask. I think that didn't kick in till Wednesday, so I'm still sort of suffering with that.
Man flu, the worst kind.
Yeah, exactly. I'm better than I was. If I start coughing, I'll have to cut it out. Right. I did try a few since. I tried the new sequential Frome.
I've been looking at that,
right,
because I've already got the Rev 2, And
Yeah.
I'm looking for something new, but I'm wondering whether it's too close to the Rev 2,
I
maybe.
think you need
But
to try it. I was not impressed.
oh, okay, because it's got aftertouch, hasn't it? Poly
It's got
aftertouch like the
aftertouch.
Hydra.
It's just it's mini keys. Now, I'm quite happy with mini
They're
keys
full
because I'm
length, but squashed,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, they're sort of squashed. They're sort of yeah, decent length, but they're squashed up. It wasn't the mini key thing that bothered me. It just the keyboard didn't feel great for a 700-800 quid synth.
Right.
And I just think that the presets in it, because all you can do in a 10-minute play is be, whatever the presets like. Presets weren't compared to the Mask One. The presets on the Form weren't very good, really. So I wasn't impressed by it. But there again, I'm not maybe the target market. I think you need to go and play it. You need to go and try
Yeah.
it before you do anything else because it didn't feel great to me, and I was slightly disappointed. What I really liked the Plinky Plus. Now the Plinky is this sort of squarish synth, you know, sequencer thing, but the original Plinky was really tiny, and I've always quite fancied it. Anyway, the Plinky Plus, much bigger. It's about sort of that sort of size. The size of the buttons fits your finger perfectly. 500 quid, I think. Plus 400 I wrote it down. 425 plus that. So it's on my Christmas card list.
Okay.
I don't need to rush into it, but at some point I will get one. And it felt quite solid as a piece of kit. You know, now not that I need any more synthesizers, but the other thing I tried the Redshift 6. Now, it's just a synthesizer, but they've had it came out a couple of years ago. It's not cheap. But they had an MPE upgrade and they had an instrument with it. It's not as big as mine, but a small instrument. So, I mean, I ended up going back 3 times to try and play it, and I did play it. Now, when I played it, I couldn't find where they'd properly implemented the MPE because none of the presets that I tried were implemented properly. Apparently, there were only a couple. I've since found out. So I was slightly disappointed with that. Really, maybe they rushed
But
it. You
I was
know,
going to say it might be first few units, and they tend to
exactly.
kind
Yeah,
of bug
yeah.
fix as they
I
go
mean,
once they get a
yeah.
user base.
What was it more interesting was the instrument was the new membrane. There's a new membrane you can get for the instrument, which has got a little dimple on all the C's if you're visually impaired. But actually, the feel of it feels completely different to mine, and it felt very slippy. So I won't be upgrading my membrane, which was quite an interesting thing.
Insane
Sunday,
in your membrane.
so yeah, Sunday I went with Ken and James from the Wells Mom. They picked me up at the station, which
Yes.
saved me walking, which was nice of them. And I hung out with them for a bit, and the whole weekend was absolutely superb. It was great. I had a really good time. You know, it is still really noisy. You know, and they have tried. There's no quiet space, but they allow you to go out this year, which they didn't last year. So you can get a pass out and go for a walk if it's a bit, you know. And there's a little,
What's the sort of synth show like that? What's the equivalent of, when you go to a guitar shop and it's like No Stairway to Heaven?
yeah.
What's the synth equivalent of
I
that?
don't know actually, but there must be
Too
one.
much res.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is,
too much res. Yeah. But yeah, no, and I didn't get to see any of the music because I was too busy doing other things. But and they did stream it live. They've now sadly taken it down, which is a shame. But I managed to rip some of it and put it into the audiophile radio show before they did that. So if you listen to this month's audiophile radio show, there are some. They're not full sets, but there are a couple of tracks from not all of them, but some of the artists. And I'll try and do some more in next month's audiophile radio show if I can. But it looked like what I saw of it before they took it down was they had some really good artists on, some really interesting people on, really.
Sounds good. So one quick question then.
Sure.
So if you've brought a new bit of gear, I
Yeah.
guess every time we meet, something's come in. You're saying one in, one out. What's going out? Have you decided?
I have a modal
The
sculpt.
wife.
Oh, no, no, no. Actually, I mean, I didn't mention it to Jane. Look, it did turn up while she wasn't here. What's going is I have a modal sculpt, which is a smallish synth, probably
Little
about the same
box,
sort
right?
of price, really. Actually, a bit cheaper. No, they're a bit cheaper. Which is still supported by Modal, although they're no longer in Bristol. I think they're abroad now. They were taken over. And because I've got the bigger Modal synth now. I'll never use it. So that's what's up for sale. It's
Good.
on eBay as we speak.
Oh, there
So
we
I've
go.
already done that. Yeah.
Cool.
So what else happened? Worked on the Audiophile radio show Monday and put the finishing touches to the Azimuth Till album, and we released that on the 1st. So that's all good. And thanks to everybody who bought it so far. Not massive sales, but it's got, there has been some sales, which is good. Then on Wednesday, I went to London, or I went to Epsom in London to see the synth repair wizard Kent Spong. There's a load of us went down. I took my Suzuki Q cord for repair because Kent
Is that
is
like the Omnicord? Is
yeah,
that the
it's
next one
the
up from
later
that?
version of the Omnicord. But mine doesn't work very well. It used to work for about 10 minutes, and then all the buttons would sort of they just freeze. But Kent's had a look. He reckons he needs some chips. Now, he is the UK's expert vintage synth restorer. Now, it's not a vintage synth, but because we're mates, he's going to do it for me, you know. So that was quite a nice day out, really. Now,
He must
Kent's
have a
house.
collection then. Has he got like a
Oh, he's got a CS80 and yeah,
right?
he's got amazing. There's literally synths all over the place. I mean, literally there is things like, you know, Roland Jupiter 4s with bits missing. I mean, he's got so many synths everywhere, you know.
And does he do things like original 808s and things like that as well, I
He'll do
guess?
anything, any of that sort of
Yeah.
vintage stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, he is the man. And I mean, you know, so everybody takes their stuff to him. So I think I mean, he even worked on, although he wasn't able to fix it, he worked on Kraftwerk's original vocoder, the one that Daniel Miller at Mute bought. Now, sadly, he had it for a long time and he couldn't get it working, you know. But he's recently been working on the Cause piano, whatever piano they use, their vintage. It'll be a Rhodes, won't it? Rhodes
I
piano,
guess. Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so people who turn up, he's got 5 dogs as well. So I had to take loads of antihistamines before I went for about 3 or 4 days. And the minute you walk through the door, you get attacked by all the dogs. So can you imagine somebody really famous turning up? Like, I mean, he has been doing Dire Straits stuff, you know. Can you imagine Mark Knopfler turning up and getting attacked by Kent's dogs? It will happen, I can tell you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Can imagine.
So that was a really good day out. Now, Kent is one of the most generous people that I know. And a long time ago, he promised me this. Oh, it's plugged in, so I won't plug.
Cosmos. Huh?
It's a Soma Cosmos, so it's an effects pedal. It's sort of does the Eno Frippatronics thing, right? So Kent says, I don't know if it works. I said, well, how much do I owe you? And he went, no, you're not paying me for it. So he won't let me pay for it. But what I'm going to do is, hopefully he'll never watch this. But anyway, Fiona, his wife, she handles the money. So when I pay for my Q card, I'm going to put another couple of £100 and pay him for that because that's the least I can do. But I've had several conversations with him since last Wednesday, saying, "Look, tell me how much I owe you," and he keeps going, "You don't owe me anything." So, but yeah, it's quite a wacky little thing, really. You know, that doesn't because I haven't bought that. That doesn't hit the
The one in, one out. Okay.
one in, one
Freebies
out.
don't count.
Yeah. So after London, which was like I said, a really nice day. Saturday night when I was going to come with you to Bournemouth, Janie got an email from the Cheese and Grain because we're members saying that they were offering free tickets for the Treehouse gig by, they were called the Black Heart Orchestra. So we thought, well, we dropped them an email and they said, yeah, we'll put you on the guest list. So we went to that
Very
instead
good.
of you.
And it's walking distance for you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's easy. And the Black Heart, I mean, they were described in the Cheese and Grain blurb as a bit Pink Floydy. They're not. There are the two. There's a guy and a girl, and it's really quite proggy. So I'll be honest, it wasn't really my thing, although it was incredibly well executed. They had a whole array of synths and guitars and bass, and they played different. They all played. They both played different instruments. She sang. He did backing vocals. Vocals were brilliant, really. The trouble was there was only 14 of us there.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I mean, and I really, really felt for them because they're on. It's a national tour that they're doing. The support act was okay, but sort of rushed through a set in 20 minutes, which felt a bit. It did feel rushed as well. I can't remember a name, to be fair. But and the two guys in the Black Ark Orchestra, like the boy and the girl, they were really. I mean, although there was only 14 of us, they were really, really,
They
they were
still
great.
worked the crowd.
They worked the crowd. They were great with the audience, and they deserved a bigger audience.
Right.
And you would have thought that that sort of prog rock, they were slightly hippie-ish, a bit. You would have thought that would have gone down really well in Frome, but it just obviously it didn't. I mean, this might have been to do with the price of the tickets. The regular ticket price was £18, which sounded a bit pricey to me. If you don't know them and you're not a fan, it's a bit pricey to just have a punt. If it'd have been 14, 15 quid, they'd have probably sold out better. Now I don't know whether that's their fault or the promoter's fault. I don't quite know how the deal works there, whether the Cheese and Grain are the promoter or it's somebody else. Anyway, I mean, they were selling merch and stuff, but there wasn't many people there. The whole thing, and they obviously came on early. So the support act was finished by 8:20. We arrived at just before 8. She literally just started. They came on at 8:30 rather than 9 o'clock and did a whole hour and about an hour and a quarter. So we were at home by 10 o'clock, But it was a night out. It was a free night out as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And interestingly, for the first time ever up at there, they didn't have the bar wasn't open upstairs, probably because of how many people. So you had to go downstairs and get your drink.
Not the end of the world, I
It's not-
suppose.
not-
Yeah,
not a
maybe they
problem.
gauge it. Maybe they
Yeah,
gauge it
exactly.
on how many tickets they've sold, which is probably why you got an offer of freebies, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
They
we've
probably
been
do
offered
that.
them. We were offered them once before last year, and that was really well attended though. But it was a sort of folk punk band from London who were really, really, really great and really worked the room. And I
Shame
would.
because it's a good venue.
It's a
It's a
great
great
venue.
venue
Yeah.
if it's if
Yeah.
you've got plenty in there.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday, and then jumped to Monday. I went to see Ella, or Allure, as we've been calling her for the last year, who was headlining at the Louisiana in Bristol. Have you been
Oh,
to
I've
the
been there.
Louisiana?
That is a great venue. You go upstairs, right?
No, is it? Is it a great
Okay,
venue?
I liked it. I really liked it. When I went to see somebody, it was the stage is high.
Stage isn't bad. I'll give you that. It's not bad.
Yeah,
It could be better.
yeah. I mean, the artists have to walk through the crowd to get to the stage.
That's a problem. That can be a
The end
problem
of the
for them, I
world.
think.
But
I'll
you
be
can see
honest with
from
you.
wherever you are. But the sound was good.
Sound was
I went
good.
there and thought it was all.
So here's my critique of it. I think the pub itself is great, really,
It's in a good little
downstairs.
spot down by the river.
Yeah, and actually, Brandon, who I went with, he found a really great parking space almost up. There's a car park almost opposite. Once we found that, so that was fine. Support band were good. Support band was a band called Better Heaven from Swindon. very loud. I mean, too loud, really. I mean, it was
Really?
so loud. It was actually less loud for Ella, but for them, it was really, really loud for that size of venue.
Well, that's on the sound guy though. That's not on the band,
Yeah,
right?
it's not on the band.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that it was their sound guy, though. Anyway,
It's usually the venue, isn't it? But you don't know. We don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know, but it was for me. It was too loud for that size of room. It's not a big room, is it? And
No.
it's 150 people standing. It was
They've
sold
had some
out.
big names come through there, though.
Yeah,
You check
yeah,
all the posters on the
yeah.
wall. They've had
But
some big acts
it's
come
the
through.
toilet tour, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
on
it's
you when
small
you're on your
venues.
way up.
Like, I mean, in York we used to have Fibbers, which was bigger. It was probably 200, and I used to spend an awful lot of time in there. I was in there most weeks, really. I wasn't. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't gone on the venue. I thought it just felt a bit small and a bit pokey. For I mean, it would have been better probably downstairs, if I'm honest, bigger room, but you have to take over the whole venue. So I was slightly disappointed with the actual room.
Was it not
Uh,
full then?
oh, it sold out. It was
It was
absolutely
sold out.
full. It
Oh,
was
okay.
absolutely full. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she could have easily probably sold out a double-sized venue. That girl's going some places. She
Okay.
was absolutely amazing. She was so energetic, and in between songs, she was out of breath, but you would never know it when she was singing. Her voice was superb. The band were great. And she did that Taylor Swift thing. Having seen the Taylor Swift Eros tour, and at the end, Taylor Swift is just her and acoustic guitar. Well, that's exactly what Ella did. She came, the band went off stage. She says, "I'm not going off stage. It's, encores are crap, basically." It's not the word she used, but that's what she meant. And she did two acoustic songs at the end, which was worked really, really well. You know, so she was absolutely superb, and I would definitely go see her again. I just don't think I'd go back there to see her,
Okay.
really.
Well, it sounds like she's going to play the next
I
kind of
think
level
next
up
time,
of
the next
size
size, I
venues.
mean, the next size, there's one in between. There's another venue that's 300, 300, 400, I think, next time, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad. I mean, the tickets were cheap as well. It was only 12 quid a ticket, you know. Um, so it was definitely worth it. And
Yeah,
she was
good.
absolutely
That's good.
superb. And I'm really chuffed for her because, she said very sweet. She says, "I've spent forever doing sort of working men's clubs basically up north where nobody's listening." And he says, "It's lovely that you're all listening to me." I mean, it was loud, but she was just great. And she had really good stage presence. She was great with the audience. She was just absolutely superb, you know.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so that's just a long way around, but that was my week, I think. I don't think it was. Oh, yeah, no, one more thing. Last night I went to the Frome Film Club and we saw a French film called The Beast. And all I'm going to say is that's 2 hours and 40 minutes I'm not going to get back.
There's not any recommendations for the week then.
Definitely not. Actually, what I did find out though, because they sent an email to say it was going to be on last night. They have if you miss it, you can take somebody else in your place, which is great. But they have DVDs and Blu-rays of most of the films that they've shown over the last 3 or 4 years, which you can just borrow. So you just
Old
drop them
school.
an email and you tell them what you want. So I'm going to do that. I'll borrow a couple of
It's
DVDs.
old school, isn't it? Renting
That's
renting
great,
videos
actually.
and
I mean, for
DVDs.
30 quid a year, it's brilliant,
Mm.
And yeah, not all the films are going to be great. And the one last night was a nightmare. It was a car crash, really. But you go to these things, and it was an experience. We should talk about the Aesthetica Film Festival.
A nice segue there.
Absolutely. So from one film to another film, right? So I've done a little bit of research, but we know a bit about them, don't we? Because we did it last year. So for those people that are watching or listening to us, we must remember that people are listening and not always watching. The
Indeed.
Aesthetica Film Festival is a small film festival up in the brilliant city of York, my hometown, and this is their 15th year. Now I covered it probably about year three. I covered it for the Yacht Mix magazine, and then it was just a weekend. I think. I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now it's pretty much it's longer, isn't it? We're going Wednesday
Yeah,
morning.
it's
Starts Wednesday,
Wednesday.
right the way through till Sunday evening. So they've extended
Yep.
it a bit, really. So, and the thing that they've done that we should be particularly interested in, is that they've got a new music stage this year. And I've had an email from Phoebe with, I'm going to read out a little bit of,
So while you're finding that, I mean, the
yeah,
film festival it's Aesthetica short film festival. So most of
yes,
them are kind of 15, 20-minute films. Some are longer form. Certainly last year was the first one for me, but it's in lots of different venues dotted around the city. Some small, some larger. It's usually broken down into kind of genres and themes. You get multiple opportunities to see the same film, right? Most of the films are showed two or three times throughout the event.
yeah,
They have stuff on the side as well. There was like a gaming and a VR room last time.
it was. That's still there. That's still there.
Yep. So that was very good and very interesting. That was one of the highlights for me last year. They have lots of side events in terms of talks and workshops and other things like that, which some are part of the festival, some you have to buy individual tickets
Yeah.
for. And now they're adding music to that as well, which is good. So
They're not just adding music, they're also adding podcasting.
okay, interesting.
The email press release that Phoebe sent me. So I won't read the whole thing, but let me just. Sorry, I'll have to look over here to actually read it. So, Aesthetica Film Festival is breaking new ground with the launch of the new music stage and the new music pass. I asked her what the new music pass is. That's basically, if you're going to go to the new music stage, that's the pass thing, really.
Okay.
Dubbed, I'm not so sure about this, but dubbed the UK's version of South by Southwest.
By them.
Well, maybe.
Who's dubbed that?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
and because there is the UK South by Southwest now, which I don't believe is that successful last year, but well, it's this year, wasn't it? So it'll be next year. With 2026 is the next one. But I mean, certainly the coverage on YouTube of of UK South by Southwest is very, very poor. Not many people are looking at their YouTube channel. But anyway, so dubbed the UK's version of South by Southwest, Aesthetica is now not only the country's leading independent film festival, but also a pioneer national competition for emerging music talent. Okay, so the way that the music stage works this year is that you could submit your music. You had to submit a track and hope. I think was it a track and a video? Yes, I think it was a track and a video, or some method of being able to listen to them. Because I know that one of the artists has only got a SoundCloud account, so there's no video. But you need to submit at least a track. You pay £20 to submit, and then there's a whole panel of people who will vet your work, really. So,
Yeah, and I looked at the jury. There's some well-connected individuals there. There's some dude who's had two number ones. There was a CEO of a live music agency called Talent Bank.
yeah, well,
There's a
actually, I looked at,
CEO of a Cafe Nero or
yeah,
something,
well, there's a
studio.
connection there because I looked into that and I thought, well, let me just, I'm just going to, maybe I should switch over to and have a look at my screen. Let me bring it up, find it first. Um, where are we? New music
I mean, what I
stage.
will say about Aesthetica, they are very good with their online presence. It's
They
very
are,
slick.
they are.
It's it works well. They're
And
right on. They're right up to date with,
they
as you'd
are.
probably expect, I guess. But
The
their visuals
artist,
are
I mean,
always
the
very good.
artist it was launched last Friday, I think, was
Okay.
when so since Friday, they've they've got videos of them up there. There's, they've covered it really, really quickly. So
Mm.
you can get to see all of the artists. I'm going to share my screen so that we can actually show people. Right.
Yep.
So here is the new music stage. So we've got each of the artists, and I've had a quick listen. Did you get a chance to have a quick listen?
I listened to all of them actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what was your thoughts of the because the shortlist was? I don't know how many people have submitted music. I have asked Phoebe how the judging happened. Now we won't know for tonight for this podcast, but we can always feed back in another one as to. I wanted to know what the process was.
Yeah.
You know, just
So
out of interest, really.
I
You
listened to all of them.
right?
Um, you've got you in Sim there. That would be the thing that I would definitely go back and listen to again. It reminded
Great
me of
voice, really
cinematic
good
orchestra
voice.
a little bit. Yeah, very
Yeah,
atmospheric, a good
yeah,
voice. I'd definitely listen to it again. So what I've found is they're definitely all kind of emerging.
yeah.
Um, I had to go, I couldn't link through to Apple Music for them, but there was a Spotify playlist. So I
Yes, I
followed
saw
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the Spotify playlist. So they're all, none of them have got, there was one guy has got one tune, a guy called Tarian, there he
Yeah,
was.
here he is. There
One
he
of
is.
his
Yeah.
tunes has actually had 2 million streams. It's not the one they're promoting, but pretty much everybody else, and there was Lady Daisy Gill, she's only got 400 listeners. And you had people that had like 20,000 listeners.
Yeah. So it's
Um,
quite, yeah,
so
it's
they're
quite
very,
diverse in that sense, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, and so they're very emerging. Pleasure Centre were quite good, kind of indie
yeah.
shoegazy vibe. But again, I'd listen to that if it came my way. There we go, Pleasure Centre. I'd definitely listen to that. It was a nice mix of stuff. Any of them, to be honest, any of the songs, first impressions, and it's all very poppy. It's all quite
It's
mainstream
that
orientated.
was that would be my slight criticism.
Yeah,
It is very contemporary, but it's also very safe.
yeah, that's
I would
fair.
say, yeah.
But I could imagine any of them. If this is what it's intended to be, I could imagine hearing any of them on Radio One or
Yes.
Radio Two or
Yeah.
Six Music. I think, and there's somebody that gets, whether it's like a Mercury Music Prize or something. If there's a winner, if there is such a thing,
I
or they're
think there
just
is a
getting an
winner.
opportunity to showcase.
I don't
Yeah,
know whether they get. It probably said somewhere about what they actually get, but they get time with somebody from Universal. I don't think
yeah, I
they're
saw
not
that. Yeah,
promising them a record deal, but
yeah,
they get. And the fact, if we just go onto the judges, because I was interested to understand the judging panel and how people got picked. There is I was going to say there's a bit of nepotism. There is sort of not from the artist's point of view, but James Gamble is the CEO of Talent Bank.
yeah.
I had no idea who Talent Bank were, but they're a live venue predominantly, but they're artist management. They're one of these companies that do all of this, everything to do with artists, really.
Sure.
Interestingly, Rachel Croft, who is fantastic, and I have seen her play several times. She's from London, great guitarist, great voice. She is a Talent Bank artist, right?
Okay.
The other thing was that his real name's Paul, but Pablo Eterin,
Ettinger.
The Cafe Nero guy is also connected to Talent Bank.
Okay. So
So
it's well,
yeah,
I guess it's showcasing them as well as hey, and look,
yeah,
they're in the
exactly.
industry.
And
They're not all
the guy
connected
Rob,
to American Express, are they? So
yeah, and the guy Rob Clark, he's worked for Cafe Nero, and the people that don't seem to be connected, and it's glad that they're there. Is Future Sound Group. Now, Future Sound Group are predominantly a live organisation like Talent Bank, but they also have they run the Slam Dunk Festival and they run live in Leeds, so they're a Leeds-based company. They also one of their subsidiary is Dance to the Radio record label. Surprise, surprise, which Ella is signed to.
okay.
So I'm surprised that Ella isn't up there as a judge because that would to be fair that would probably make sense, but maybe she's
Would be
too
full
early in her
circle.
career, really.
Yeah.
So you could argue there's maybe a little bit of nepotism going on there, but it's probably who you know to some extent.
So I wouldn't be surprised, if one or two of them, the one that gets plucked out as the lucky winner, if they had the right backing, a bit of production, a bit of direction
Yeah.
behind them, you could see them tickle in the charts.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Absolutely
I
could.
was slightly concerned because I didn't know. I mean, typically, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm quite down on Universal Music Group as a record label, but that's a personal thing. And interestingly, there's no one person there that's but and I did do a little bit of research this afternoon, and I thought, I'm hoping that quite a few of these artists that are on the shortlist. Please don't tell me that they've been signed by Universal already. Nobody has.
I looked for that, yes.
Yeah, we both looked for the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't find any connection to Universal for any of them, which I'm pleased about to some extent because that would be horrible. That would
And
be
it's
me.
worth saying,
Yeah.
it's worth saying a link back to our last podcast, really. You got the Pleasure Centre band,
Yeah,
which was probably, I only listened to everything once, but that was the one that I thought, oh yeah, okay. If that turned up, I'd give it a listen.
because
Right?
they're from where are they from? They're North Yorkshire coast. So they may
I
be
did see that, yeah.
Scarborough, Bridlington, Filey,
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
it's
If they're on
good
the
that some
coast.
of the local ones are getting through.
Yeah. That's
So
good. That's good to see, actually. And I mean, it's a good cross section. I would have liked to seen some electronica in there, if I'm honest. At least one. And
yeah, I think that Tarian was electronic. It was kind of chill vibes, slow tempo, stuttering hats, nice
Yeah.
vocal. Yeah, that was kind of electronic. So just the Pleasure Centre thing, I guess the point I wanted to make is that connection back to the last series that we talked about. On Spotify, they've got 16,000 monthly users.
have
So
they?
four young guys there, right?
Yeah.
They're all pretty young, trying to make a living. So they're getting about £3 a month from Spotify. So divided by 4, they're getting 75 pence each a month from
Yeah.
Spotify for what's on there. So, good luck to anybody that this is some exposure for them.
Yeah.
It can only be a good thing. It's promotion, get some exposure, and then if they're able to get a boost from some of the sponsors or
Yeah.
from Universal, then
Happy
all
days.
very good.
Yeah.
Nothing not to like. Right?
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I mean, and I'm pleased it's there because, as I said to Phoebe when I spoke to her last week, it's definitely in our wheelhouse. The fact that there is a music stage up there, from where we're coming from, apart from all the other stuff that's going on, So I'm quite pleased to see that, really, So the other thing that's worth mentioning, while I've still got my thing up here, is they're also, so that's going to be on Saturday afternoon, just before I finish up. You have to, if you buy an Aesthetica film pass to go and see that. It starts at 3:00 in the afternoon till I don't know how long it's on for, but everybody gets half an hour to play. So 10 acts. It's got to be all evening, isn't it? It's £21 for a ticket for that. So, I mean, I think one of us should go. We don't know whether we need to sort that out as to whether we both go or whether one of us goes to it. Yeah. The other thing that they're doing is a thing called Beyond the Frame, which they're saying is expanding the film experience. And what they've done is these are extra to the Aesthetica pass, really. So they've got Sophie Duker come in, who comedian. She was on Taskmaster. I saw her at last year's Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Good, but not my favourite, if I'm honest. But so you extra ticket for that, really. I don't quite know how much the tickets are, so let me just click on it and see. And so this is in collaboration with the York Theatre Royal. 21
£21.
quid.
Yeah.
So same price as the other thing.
As the music.
Same price as the music.
But it's an evening. If comedy's your thing, it's not just her, it's her and friends. So if you want an evening of comedy or you
Yeah,
want an evening of
and
music, 20
that's
quid's-
on the 5th. So there's something different every night of the actual festival. Let me just go back to.
beats standing outside watching fireworks.
Yeah, that's true. I just realised. Yeah, 5th. I didn't think about
Sorry,
bonfire
yeah.
night, but yeah, you're right actually. So then they've got the Dodge Brothers. Do you know what the Dodge Brothers are?
No.
No, I've
Are
never
they,
seen them.
are they, did they bring their acclaimed live score to silent film?
They do a like actually it's
Oh,
Mark
Mark
Commode
Commode's in
Mark
them.
Commode
Okay.
who
Okay, I can
does
see
the
him now.
ex
Yeah, yeah.
BBC
Yeah, yeah, I can
film
see him.
journalist. That's his. I think they're sort of are they a country, but I don't know what they're like actually. Anyway, but yeah, the Dodge Brothers, they are doing
But
a score to a silent film, and
this is
he's also
becoming quite a thing, actually.
yeah it is.
Live scoring to movies. There's an old mate of mine who does it. Yeah, it's becoming quite a thing. It's quite
I've seen a couple
gathering
that could be really
momentum.
really good. I saw Johnny Greenwood and an orchestra do. It wasn't a silent film, but they did a live score to "There Must Be Blood" a few years ago. Absolutely fantastic night out, really. Uh, so,
You can do that one.
so that's probably going to be the same price. It might be some more. Then he's in conversation. That's on. That's so that was. So that's so we're starting Wednesday with Sophie. Then we're on to Thursday with the Dodge Brothers and the live score. Then we're on Friday. Mark Commode's in conversation with Jenny Nelson. And I have seen him do talks before. Actually, he's very entertaining. He's Mark Commode. You
Yeah.
know, I don't always agree with him about his film choice, but I mean, he is well known for saying that there was no songs in The Greatest Showman, which I will never let him live down.
I think he can be controversial when he
It
needs to
can
be.
be,
Yeah.
yeah. And
The
then
music stage.
then on the Saturday, you've got the new music stage, which starts at 2 or 3 in the afternoon with the 10 acts. So I mean, so that's an addition to the whole thing, along with all
Yeah,
of
it's a packed
the.
schedule. It's good.
It's a good schedule. Now, the other thing that's worth mentioning is that if you're not able to get to York for the whole month, you can go, you can see a lot of the short films online. I won't say all of them because last year there wasn't all of them on available, and I'm probably the same this year. But I
But it
would
was the
want
majority, right?
the
We went back and
majority,
watched a lot of the
absolutely,
things
and
because it's impossible to see
yeah,
every
everything,
film in
yeah,
those
exactly.
5 days. Well, I
And
mean, you
I
could, I
saw,
suppose, but it was difficult.
I spent most of the month looking at films, doing sort of 2 or 3. Let me just get rid of this. I'll go back to stop sharing because we don't need it anymore. I spent, I would watch 2 or 3 films at a time. Like if I was, I'd do it over lunch or over an evening meal or something like that. So, rather than, I wouldn't sit there all day watching them like we did when we actually were up there or going from one venue to the next. But actually, it's quite, things that you can't get to see, you have a pretty good chance of being able to see. And you can get a virtual pass. We should probably talk about how much the things cost, shall we? Festival passes. So it's just, so book your pass. So Right, a standard pass, a 1 day pass, if you're going for the day, £35. So a 2 day pass, £60, and an unlimited pass for the whole of the. This is actually going there. Unlimited pass is £90.
It's for
Okay,
5 days.
the 5 days
Good value
exactly.
for
So it's
money if it's your
pretty
thing.
good, really. You can go to just a single screening for £7.50 if you live close to York, and if you're a York resident, you can get a York residence pass for the whole 5 days for £26 25, which is really really reasonable, isn't it? The hybrid pass, which means that you'll get to see things on a particular day or seeing things virtually. £70 for an unlimited pass. That means you get to go 1 day, but you've got the hybrid pass for the rest of it. 2 day hybrid pass, 130 quid. Unlimited hybrid pass, which means that you go for the 5 days and then for the rest of the month you can see anything anytime, £170. So it's,
Okay.
I mean, that's not cheap, but you are getting a whole month's worth of entertainment, and let's face it, last year we saw some amazing stuff, some stuff that still
Definitely,
stayed with me,
definitely.
you know,
Yeah, yeah,
you
and
know,
there's some household names that
yeah,
are actors and producers, and yeah, I mean, that £90 for the unlimited pass, I think, is
yeah.
definitely good value. Five
And
days.
then
We were watching five, six, seven, eight films a day at
we
least,
were,
right?
all
You
right,
know, a
yeah, we
dozen.
were,
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
like
And
crazy.
then you can just have the virtual passes. So a 24-hour virtual pass. So see as much as like in 24 hours, 35 quid. A 1 week pass, which is probably not a bad way of doing it, actually, 60 quid. And then if you want the whole month, it's 90 quid.
Mm.
And that's it, really. The thing, I mean, it's not something I'm assuming they did it last year, but they've got quite a lot of kids' workshops on as well, which obviously we wouldn't be going to that because we're not the demographic and we haven't got any small children. But I think that's a really good thing to
Mm.
get kids into sort of doing things like I'm just looking here. I could go back to screen. So one of the kids. Let me just share my screen again so I can quickly show this. Kids Workshop, want to be a filmmaker, 7 to 10. How to make a game. How to make a game. So this is really good stuff for kids to be doing. Really,
Mm.
how to make stop motion. So
Mm.
plasticine, become hardman. And they're quite reasonable, really, if you think about it. 12 quid for the workshop, really.
And that must be at the weekend because the kids are in school still then.
Yes, there
It's
will be,
not
yeah.
half term,
Yeah.
so it must be the Saturday and Sunday, I
And
guess.
then you've got things from 11 to 14-year-olds, game development, making characters come to life. I think this is a really, really good thing.
Mm.
Yes, they look like they're all on Saturday or Sunday. So,
Yeah,
yeah, the
gotta
weekend,
be.
one or the
Yeah, yeah.
other, really. Um, and it looks like I'm assuming that's for the whole time, but 1:30 till 4. So that's a good afternoon's entertainment for 12 quid, you
Yep.
know. So like I say, it's not something we'll cover when we're up there, but I think that's absolutely brilliant that's available really, you know. I don't know that there's anything else. We can, what I would say to people listening and look and watching us, go and see have a look at the Aesthetica website. The program is there, and you can look through the program already. All of the films are already up there. Tells you everything you need to know. I mean, that became our Bible, didn't it?
It was well thumbed. Yes.
Absolutely. I've still got mine because I tend to keep things like that. And although I write things in it, and it'll be the same again this year. I'll be honest. Although there's virtually, I actually quite liked having the real thing, so you could sit and have a coffee, and rather than looking at another screen, you're able to actually, and you just pick them up when you're there. There's loads of them to be able to pick up. So I would suggest that people have a look at that sort of stuff now. The other thing is, under festival, you will see there is a link to masterclasses. Now, I've already started booking because we've just got our accreditation today. So, and I will be doing some more probably when we finish this. But things are already getting fully booked, really. So, so it tells you whether space is available or whether it needs a separate ticket, but everything is there for each of the days, really. So yes, I would suggest. So if you're not watching this and you're just listening, go onto the Aesthetic website and then have a look at the program, have a look at the master classes, and if you're able to go or do it virtually, go and book it because well, we had a great time last year, and we're going to do the same
Yeah.
again.
There's
But
one
really
there.
looking
Look
forward to it.
how podcasts became part of everyday life.
I've already signed up for that.
Yeah. Look for those.
Yeah. So
AI, exploring AI. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff.
yeah,
Staying current and good.
I don't think there's anything else about that, is there? I mean, I think we've pretty much covered everything we needed to say about that. The website is really, really easy to navigate, and it's fantastically. I'll come out of that now. There we go. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else on that. Do you?
No,
We're done on that bit. Okay. So ask Ian anything, and then we'll do
Just-
recommendations.
I'm just leaving a tense pause.
Yeah.
It's the silent drum roll.
Okay, but actually, just before we do that, we should do cinnamon bun chat because I have had cinnamon buns.
Probably loads of them.
No, I haven't. I had, well, because when I went to Bristronica on the Saturday, I had a cinnamon bun at the station. I had a mocha in the station while I was waiting for the train, which was 4 out of 5. It wasn't bad because it's the Rye Bakery in Frome who were pretty good. They do
Okay,
insist
so
on
it wasn't factory made. It was,
no. It was a
okay.
proper cinnamon bun. It had glaze on it, which I don't like, but I can live with that. But it was a good one. It was
It
and
wasn't made in a factory, stuck on a lorry,
no,
travelled 100
no.
miles.
And then Jane was meeting an old university friend, and they went to Rye Bakery in Frome, not at the station, at the other Rye Bakery, which is the top of St Catherine's Hill. And I went along just to meet Chris and say hi because I hadn't seen her for quite a few years. And Janie had bought me a mocha and another cinnamon bun. So 2 cinnamon buns in 2 weeks is pretty good going, really.
One a
Again,
week's fine.
same place, Rye Bakery, 4 out of 5. Not quite Walthamstow standards.
But 4 out of 5 is not
Four
bad.
out of 5 it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
So right, go on then. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm ready
It's
to
not
be.
that bad. It's not that bad, actually. It's more informative than giving you a brain teaser. So, linking it to obviously the fact that we've been talking about Aesthetica Short Film Festival in November. I don't know. I thought we'd maybe talked about this before, but hey ho. First film you went to see at the cinema?
We may well have.
Was it in black and white?
Ooh.
Was it a silent movie?
Now, I didn't go to the cinema very often with my parents,
No.
but the one film that there's 2 films actually, and I think I can't remember which one would have been first. Probably, I think I went with my mother to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, whenever that was. That would be probably 60 something or other, right? So that was probably the first film I went to see. The only other time that I went with my mother and my father to the cinema was to see Kes, which
Oh,
was a
yeah.
Ken Loach film.
That was
That would have been early 70s. That would have been
one of his
72.
very early films, if not, it wasn't his first one, was
No,
it? It
no,
was
because
his breakthrough
he
one.
did a taste. He did some Play for Today's on
I love
BBC
all the
first.
Ken
That's
Loach
why,
stuff.
yeah.
I
I love
it.
Ken Loach's. I mean, I love his politics. Although they've kicked him out of the Labour Party now, that's a whole different story.
I like all his movies.
I have joined. Well, actually, I will say just a sidebar. I have joined a political party this week, and it is not the Conservatives. It is not Reform, and it is not
Green.
Labour. What do you
Green.
say? Yeah, I have.
Green.
I've joined the Greens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Zach Polanski, human being, decent. Sounds like a decent bloke. I actually, for first time in a long time, watched his speech. Watch a political leader speech, but I also watched the deputies because the 2 deputies that he's got really switched on.
I
Rachel
think they're
and
rebranding themselves away from the tree hugging,
They are very much so.
sandal
Yeah, yeah,
wearing,
yeah. Very
of
much
the
so. Yeah,
past. I think they've had to disassociate that from themselves.
yeah. And that
But
was
he has
always
changed his
my.
name, is the only thing. It's a bit
Sorry.
J.D. Vancey. He's changed his name.
Well, he changed his.
Max
There was a reason
Zablonsky
for
or whatever
that
his name
because
is.
he's Jewish, and when his father came to
Not
the
that there's
U.
anything wrong with changing his name, but Matey earlier changed his name from Paul to Pablo.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
a
a
bit
bit.
sus. It's a
It's a
bit
bit very
sus.
sus, isn't it? No, but the reason Zach changed his name was that he was born David. I can't remember what the surname was, but the Zach Pulaski is the family name which his father or his grandfather changed when they came to the UK because they were getting
To mask the
well,
Jewish
it was because
heritage.
they were getting
Yeah, yeah.
there was stuff happening to them because they were Jewish, and that's why he's changed it back. And good on him for that, I think. Really, he
Yeah,
chose Zach as there was a reason for him choosing Zach. It's one of the Jewish forefathers or something like that. So
it's fair
anyway,
enough.
it's a
It's
sidebar.
harmless
But yes,
changing your name.
I have joined the Green Party. I've just missed the conference, otherwise I've probably gone to the conference.
Right.
But anyway, we're talking politics. So yeah, so that's the first two films, and then after that, I would have. I did go to the ABC Cinema in York. Had a Saturday morning club, which a friend of mine dragged me along to. So I would have been probably 10.
Right.
And every Saturday morning, I went to see films. Now they were quite raucous, those events. I'm there. To be fair, me and my mate are there to see the film, and half the other kids are throwing ice creams around and just causing mayhem. So it's you couldn't always get to see the film you wanted to see. And then I went to see films on my own for a long. If I didn't have a mate to go with, I would just go and see a film. I was always into films from a very early age, but my parents weren't. They're only the two films that I ever remember them taking me to. My mother took me to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and then I went with my father. And I wanted to talk. I remember on the way home in the car, I wanted to discuss the film with my parents, and they weren't interested because
Yeah,
I
I mean,
wanted
some
to
people
talk.
just aren't
Yeah,
filmies
they
for
weren't
them. It's
into
just
it.
how
They
it
were
goes.
just not
It's
into
just
it.
some are, some
You
aren't.
know. But I resonated with the Kes film very much so because it was a northern film. You know, I didn't have the bullying brother that Billy Casper had, but and I did after that read the book,
Right.
and I liked Stan Barstow's work, so I read quite a few Stan Barstow books after that. So, that 1960s thing. Anyway, yes. So that was easy, but
That
that was
was
a
an
nice
easy
one.
one.
Yeah,
So my film story was again going with parents with my mom. 1979. There was two massive films out that year. Star Wars.
yeah,
Might not be 1979. It might be 77. Two big films out that year were Star Wars and Grease.
yeah.
And it was like, come on, we're going to the cinema. I was like, great. And my mom got tickets for Grease, and I wanted to go to Star Wars. So I'm back at school, and everybody else had gone to see Star
Talking about
Wars,
yeah.
and all got into sci-fi, and I went to Grease, and none of my mates had gone to see Grease. But hey, maybe that got me into music. I can't remember if
Yeah,
I enjoyed it or not. I just remember that sliding doors moment of it's Grease or Star Wars, and
you
I'm
should
going
have.
to
I
watch
mean,
Grease,
I didn't.
which I can't watch Grease
I
now.
don't mind Grease actually. I'll be honest with you. I don't mind it. The songs aren't bad. I did see.
It's
I
just
didn't
hearing people
see.
sing the songs at karaoke. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's a bit of an issue. I did.
yeah.
I didn't see Star Wars. I went through a period of not going to see blockbusters.
Mm.
It was a blockbuster movie. I wasn't interested really, but and eventually much later I did see things like Jaws and all of that. But I went. I made the mistake of going to see the Star when the third film came out, which was Return of the Jedi.
Jedi,
Yeah,
yeah.
when that came out, you could go to a triple bill, and I went to the triple bill not having seen the first two films, so I saw them all in one sitting. By God, is it painful to sit for that long in a cinema? It was just my bum was so numb. I remember halfway through the third film thinking, I wanted, and I did get up and stand in between the movies, And
And films of 40 years ago are different to films today. There's scene setting, there's
yeah,
understanding the characters. They're
yeah,
pretty slow. If you go
yeah,
back and watch a film from that time, they're pretty slow. Most people would be switching off now.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
different. So to do, yeah, three of them back to back, my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I would never do that again. And it's the only
And they're
time I ever
still
did
milking
that.
the Star Wars franchise now, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
still
I've
off
not bothered.
spawned.
I mean, I saw the prequels, the Anakin
Yeah, I
ones,
lost interest
and I
after
lost
Return of
interest at
Jedi.
that point. And then they did sort of a couple of spin-off movies. I quite like the Rey character. Remember that in the first of the prequels, but I've not watched any of the because Disney own it now, so it's all Disney franchise TV series, and I am not interested in any of that. They
No,
will do
same.
the same with
Same.
James Bond. You know that, don't you? Because they've just
Yeah,
bought the James Bond
yeah, it's
franchise, haven't
inevitable.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, what's your recommendations?
Well, I have no recommendations in terms of music, actually. There's nothing that's really caught my attention over the last couple of weeks. Um, I've got the new Tricky album ready to listen to. He's
Oh,
working
okay.
with a new singer called Marta. I've heard one of the songs. I haven't listened to the whole album yet, so I reserve judgment. I think it'll be very Tricky-esque, but that's fine. That's
I
him.
like
That's his
Tricky.
vibe. That's his
I like
sound.
Tricky.
You know what you're going
Yeah.
to get. So I'll give that a listen and report back. I try and listen to albums as a whole.
Yeah, I do too.
Um, I would, of course, recommend the Ramshackle album. I had my vinyl delivered. I don't know if
I saw that. Yeah,
you've
I
seen
saw
my
your
little
little
video.
video.
So that came from Elastic Stage.
Yeah.
That was a pleasant experience. So nice to have it on vinyl. Felt
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Give it a playthrough. It's the WAV files I uploaded were the digital ones, which were not the ones optimized for vinyl, and you can
Okay.
subtly tell.
All right.
And the guy who mastered it for me did say, I've also mastered for vinyl, so let me know if you want it." Um, so I think that there is a subtle difference. I put the album on, and then I put on an album that you could tell it was mastered for vinyl.
Right.
Subtly different because my studio speakers, you can hear it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you wouldn't hear it if you were on normal hi-fi speakers. But you could just sense it's probably in the bottom end as much as anything
Yeah.
else. It's
Yeah.
probably that bottom range that you're missing on vinyl because it's analog rather than
Yeah.
digital. That's the subtle difference.
Because I mean, I bought the Ella EPs on vinyl, which it's limited edition to 300. I think she still has some left at the gig, although I didn't look at the merch stand. And they sound so much better than they do on streaming. So when I
Yeah.
play that and I listen to it I usually listen to either a whole album or a whole side, and I like that. I mean, normally, I have been buying more CDs, but I do like listening to vinyl in that way. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
As
wouldn't
a
choose
piece of
vinyl
work.
over CDs. I think they're just different beasts, really.
Mm. Mm.
Um, I think I still sort of prefer CDs, if I'm honest. But I mean, and they still both sound better than streaming,
Yeah.
really. So I have a few recommendations.
Go on then. Hit
One
me.
of them is CDs, but we'll do that last. So right, TV. Over the last fortnight, I've seen a couple of TV series. One is it's on ITV X now, The Hack. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
this
Yeah.
is about the a true story of
David
the
Tennant, right?
David Tennant. Uh, it's brilliant.
Okay.
There's a sort of
It's a dramatization, right? It's
it is,
part.
but
Yeah.
fundamentally, what's going on is facts, and they tell you when things are not quite as where they've maybe been slightly, but fundamentally, it's about the demise of the news of the world and the way that phone hacking was endemic across all of the tabloids and some of the mainstream broadsheets as well. I think the Independent were involved. Don't quote me on that, but he's superb. He is the best thing in it, but it's a really good cast. You know, there's a sort of sidebar with what's his name? The actor who played Begbie
Train spotting.
sorry,
Train spotting?
yeah,
No? Yeah.
I forgot his name. He plays a copper, which is sort of like a sidebar, but and there's a whole episode with him, which sort of at the time doesn't seem quite to fit, but at the end it does. But
Okay.
it's 8 episodes.
It sounds
It's
like they've written that in at a later date, and then how could we make it
well, maybe
work?
they have. I don't know
Yeah.
really. I mean, it is good. The other one is, and I stumbled across this because it's got a really weird title. So this is on Disney Plus, and it's called Say Nothing. Again, drama documentary, a drama of a real life events, and it's to do with. It starts in the 1970s, goes right through to the 80s, and it's about the IRA in Belfast, and the fundamentally there's two stories. The story of the Price sisters, who were IRA operatives, quite high up in the IRA, and the other sort of story is the mother of 10 who the IRA thought was a tout, was informing on them to the British Army because she lived in a Catholic tower block,
Hmm.
who they abducted and murdered, leaving their 10 children homeless, motherless. She was single mother, which is horrific, really, you know. But it goes right the way through, well, right the way through to the 90s, really. Brilliantly done. Maxine Peake plays one of the Price sisters as telling her story as an older woman. But and the young actor playing the that particular Price sister is absolutely superb, and I think I'd like to see her in something else. She is from Belfast, but it's a really good. Again, I think it's 8 episodes. You
Okay.
know, it's a
All right.
really good watch. Couple more. One is a film from this year with Lily James in it called Swiped, which is about. It's about so the woman that she plays started Bumble, which is a dating app. She was also one of the co-founders of Tinder.
But the Bumble thing, doesn't it weed out fake, weeds out bullshit?
Yeah.
It's that,
So
isn't it?
it has to, they have to start it. It has to be female led.
Not that I go on dating apps, I've
No,
just
no.
heard about it.
But there was a very toxic relationship that she was involved in while she was at Tinder, working for Tinder, and she was,
Right.
and so it covers that element of it, which is actually quite good. It's not. I mean, it's probably 4 out of 5 star movies. Lily James is always watchable, and she's very good in it. I watched it over 2 or 3 lunches. That really, and lastly, we watched this over the last 2 nights. I've seen this before, but on Amazon Prime, there is a documentary called One Brit Wonder, and it's about James Blunt.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
And
not seen that, but I did want to watch it because
yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
he's
I mean,
very
it
self-depreciating, right?
he is, and it covers all of that stuff about. Well, it covers everything from him, him getting signs. It even goes back to when he was in the army and
Yeah,
some of the stuff that went on when at Kosovo, because he was active in
yeah,
Kosovo, is horrendous, really. But he comes across as a really decent bloke, bit of a
yeah, yeah,
toff, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Clearly,
Is it up to the current date when he tries to get a get another number one? Is it, and
no,
he bets
I
people
think it
because
was
of that?
2020. The tour was 2022. So,
Okay. So there
so
was a
no,
thing
it's not.
recently, probably last year, where
Yeah.
he was online a lot and he was trying to get his single back to number one, and I think he had to do a forfeit or something.
That was, I remember something about that, but it's a
Mm.
really good watch. I mean, when all the negative stuff happened over social media, over Twitter and that, and the record company, the PR company that they employed didn't know how to deal with it, and he started to do his own tweets,
Yeah, he's got
and
loads
sort
of
of,
famous
yeah,
retweets. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and you know, I mean, obviously, I mean, he still fills stadiums, which is great. So the
Yeah.
2022 tour is part of runs through it, and he is filling stadiums still. So, and this, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've only got the first album, that Back to Bedlam, but I have got the live version of it as well. I think it's a great album. It's full of great songs. I've not bothered listening to anything else since then, but it's a really, really good watch. And they
Yeah,
were
it was very much of that time. There was everything was a wash of that genre at the time. And
was
I mean,
yeah,
he nailed it with the single,
he
right?
did,
And
yeah,
you're right, the album was all similar to
he was, yeah.
um you can't you have to take your hat off to him, right? He's made a
Yeah,
career out of it. He's still
it's a
doing
really,
it. He's
really
having
good
fun.
watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Jenny enjoyed it as well. So we finished watching that last night when we got back from the dodgy cinema that we went to. And my last recommendation is a band that I've been into for quite a while. So, London band, you'll have never heard of them. They put out an album last year, which I missed for some reason, although I do
Mm.
follow on Bandcamp. So, and I've caught up. So, this is a band called Fight Milk. They're sort of power pop, little bit punky, really good melodies, female fronted singer Lily. Great songs, really good songs. I've yet to be able to see them, and I'd like to go to a gig at some point. If they come to this area, I'll give you a shout.
Mm.
No synthesizers, I'm afraid, but they're just really, really good pop songs. So I've listened on streaming to the first two albums quite a lot. I can't buy the first album on CD because it's sold out. So I've bought it on Bandcamp as a download. I
Good
bought the
lad.
second album, which is on its way to me on CD, and it's on all via Bandcamp. And I bought the new album, which I don't know what it's called. Let me just bring up my. I need to bring up my Bandcamp to find what it's called. I had literally ordered it yesterday, so it's on its way here. But I had listened to it and thought, this is more of the same, really good stuff, really. So purchases. So the first album, which is only available as a download, is Not With That Attitude. Second album, which was from 2022, was Contender. And then the new album is called No Souvenir. They were signed to a small independent label out of London, I think. And then this album is with another small record label, but they're really good. Really good song. I mean, it's power pop, quite punky. It does hit that sort of,
Okay.
that sort of thing. It's not it won't be to everybody's taste, but certainly pushed my buttons.
I'll give it a try.
And I also bought, just to finish off with Taylor Swift, I've topped up my Taylor Swift CDs. So I bought 3 Taylor Swift CDs, all secondhand. Actually, no,
Not
one
the
of them
new
was
one.
new. I bought
the new
Red,
one.
Taylor's version, for a tenner with a cracked case. And I bought, surprisingly I bought Reputation and Speak Now, which I have to say is my favourite Taylor Swift album, for £4 on eBay. I couldn't believe that somebody was selling it that cheap.
Right.
So
There's a lot of them about, mind.
there are a lot of them about, exactly, yeah, but at least I will listen to it in the car, and it's quite nice to be able to put it on a CD player, So yeah, that's it. I think we're done, aren't we?
I think so. Somehow ended on Taylor Swift.
I will stop talking about Taylor Swift. I really will. Although I did watch the documentary on Channel 4, which was interesting. Not brilliant, but interesting. 2-part documentary that's on Channel 4 as we speak here in the UK. But yes. Actually, we didn't talk about the new album, did we?
No.
And for those people listening, Jason is now shaking his head in disgust. I will say, I mean, here we are. I will say, I have listened to the new Taylor Swift album twice. Some of the songs I think are pretty good. She is back with Max Martin, So she's definitely looking for hits. Um, I mean, I think it's patchy, if I'm honest. The Guardian gave it 2 stars, which I think is mean. It's not a 2 star album, it's better than that. The Times gave it 5 stars. So make of that what you will, really. Um,
Mm. Well, I think it's less. It's probably not as. I mean, I haven't listened to it, but my sense is probably that it's slightly less poppy, even though it's still big songs. It's but she's maturing, she's growing up, and her audience is growing up with her, I guess.
I
It's
think
probably not as instant, immediate. That's the word I'm looking for.
no,
It's
I
probably not
think
as
the first
immediate
half of
as
it is. The first
okay.
half of it, the album sounds. I mean, the opening track is great, and I don't know if it is a single, which is something about Ophelia. And the first few tracks I thought were really good, and then the second half of the album, because again I did listen to it as a whole album, I thought was just not as good. I mean, there's this one called Wood, which is lots of innuendo about her fiance's penis and the size of his penis, which is a bit naff, really, you know. But I mean, she writes the songs that she wants to write, so that's fair enough, you know.
She's a
It just comes across as a bit naff, really. Just
she's
that.
just Taylor Swift Corp, isn't she? She's just like
Absolutely,
a just
yeah,
a
yeah,
you know
yeah. And I
just
promise
a
never to
beast.
mention Taylor Swift again.
Well, my daughter Evelyn, shout out. She wasn't impressed actually. She was all excited for the release, and she went, "Oh, it's not very good." So I think she's maybe moving on.
There are a few. The BBC went overboard on it because Jane had Radio Four on, and they were interviewing Swifties, and some of them were saying the same sort of thing. Really, I just looked at it as, I'm not her biggest fan. Some of it I like, some of it I don't like. Interestingly, although I've now got Reputation as an album, I'm not that fond of it, and that's supposed to be poppier.
I think with artists that big, you do move on. It was like, I don't know, if you were a Durrani,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I
they still
was.
had a place in your heart, but you kind of moved on as you got older and got
Yeah,
into other things, right?
yeah,
I think it's just
yeah.
the natural evolution of it, right? I think.
Yeah. I mean, and as I probably said last time, I do think she does different things with different albums. I didn't like any of the lockdown albums particularly, and I'd completely missed what was the one, not the Poets one, that was the last one, because I have heard that because Belinda's got it, and she's got it on vinyl. There's one that she did in between that I completely missed, and I still haven't heard it
Yeah,
really.
I mean, she's broken all records again. And,
Absolutely.
she held the previous record. She's broken her own previous record
Yeah.
for number of sales in the first week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
yeah,
She just needs to
phenomenal.
get off Spotify, doesn't she? Get off Spotify and get on. We said last time, get off Spotify and get her on Bandcamp.
Yeah, or behind whatever the next one is, right?
Yeah,
Get on that and give that some. It's surprising that yeah, I mean, look, she's focused on her work rather than gets caught up with celebrity, politics. Trump still fires bullets at her.
yeah, yeah,
He still tries to snipe at her, and
yeah.
she doesn't respond. She's just keeping her powder dry, isn't she?
And I mean, the work ethic is is huge because she recorded the album in
Whilst on the
between
tour.
doing the tour.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she went over to Sweden because it's Shellbeck. So it's Max Martin and Shellbeck who've produced the album with her. I don't know whether they've co-written some of the songs as well. But she wanted to go and work. She wanted to work with them again.
Yeah, she's a
You know,
machine. She's a
yeah, she is.
corporation.
Yeah. Now,
She is.
whether that will change if she marries the football player, you know, because I'm sure she would probably want to slow down a bit then.
The cynic in me still says that's
Oh
um,
yeah.
not real
Oh,
publicity.
I mean, she's had a whole list of boyfriends. She was with
It's
6 years with the guy
win-win.
out of London once, the actor out of London,
Yeah, then
and
then Harry Styles,
yeah, yeah.
supposedly. The guy out of 1975, wasn't there a passing
Oh
thing with
God,
his
yeah,
hat?
yeah. Because there's one of the songs he's referenced to
It's like
Charlie
Elton John
XCX,
always
you
had
know.
Elton John always had a string of girls on his arm, right?
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
all publicity. I still think it's, get males listening to Taylor Swift through the NFL bit and then get girls into NFL the other way. I think it's mutual
Well,
publicity.
that's an interesting
but that's because I'm a cynical old bastard.
Well, you and me both. We're both cynical old bastards, mate. I mean, so let's face it. And so we should be. You know, the music business is toxic, as we keep
So
saying.
rather than we end on Taylor Swift, something I
Yes.
am looking forward to,
Go on
I'm
then.
going to see Brit McKenzie. He's one half of Flight of the Conchords
Oh,
in a
another,
couple of
yeah,
weeks'
Fight of the
time.
Concords.
He's the guy with the beard, the smaller guy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see him because Kelly really likes Flight of the Conchords and especially likes him. So it was her birthday present. So we're going to, it's in London. We're going to that on the 21st or something. So it's a couple of weeks away.
Aren't we going to a gig in
That's on the 22nd. I've got a busy week that week. Yes.
that? We're going to see Snap Tankle, aren't we?
On the 22nd. Yeah.
I know nothing about Snap Tankle. This is purely
You
down
should
to
listen to it.
you.
It's a good album. It's a really good album.
I will have a listen before the
Hard-edged,
day.
industrial. Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
not really good, really good. And it's one of those albums that grows on you as well. You can listen to it over and again. Actually, it gets better with each listen. It's one of those.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
listen to it first time round, and you go, oh, yeah, okay. But actually, you keep listening to it, and it grows on you. So yeah, give it a listen.
I will do.
So you're going to see, rather than we talk about Tay Tay, we're going to see Brett McKenzie on
Good
his
stuff.
world tour. He's
And
a
I did
New Zealand
listen
artist.
I did listen to the Tron album. I quite like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not that bothered about seeing the film, to be honest, because
But it's a soundtrack because you can
soundtrack
almost
is really-
visualize the film as you listen to it, can't
the
you? You can
soundtrack's really
almost,
good, and it's very Nine Inch Nails.
yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
good.
no, I liked
know,
it.
I like it.
I liked it.
Yeah, no, I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I've still got it on rotation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
Got us
matey.
away from that. All right.
So let's get
Okay.
together on Monday.
Yeah, like 8 o'clock or something. Let me just
Yeah,
get
that's
all
fine.
my work head off and we'll just have a catch up on logistics
And
and
we'll
everything.
talk about sorting out what we're doing for Aesthetica.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Good stuff.
Have a good weekend if I don't talk to you before.
All right. Take care.
See you later.
See ya.
Ta-da. Bye-bye.
Cheers.